I think together we could start a pretty punk rock group.
What would you call it?
Is the Beastie Boys taken?
Yeah, but I like a riff on that maybe, like the
Feetsy Boys, and how it's a lot of feet focused music, sort of pediatric centric.
right.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, punk rock
Yep.
for foot fetishists.
No, just for foot enthusiasts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
yeah.
wait, is pediatrics is not the same thing as podiatry, is it?
You're talking to the wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think podiatry is feet and maybe pediatrics is children.
Pediatrics. Yeah, that's absolutely correct.
Podiatry is definitely
Yep.
feet.
So you want to make a punk rock band for foot enthusiasts?
Yes. And people that maybe...
some would clarify as potentially foot fetishists.
I think that's a subset of that group of people.
It's it's the gambit you run, really.
That's a risk of any interest group. There's always going to be someone that's like, fuck yes.
June 30th, 2019, Sunday, 4:31 p.m. My name is James and this is Slotfest. Welcome back. It's your weekly dose of weirdness. Weekly has the hardest, biggest asterisks you've ever seen
Got
in your
3
life.
asterisks.
An exploration into the minds of strange people doing strange things.
Gave that a lot of sauce, didn't you?
On this show, we take a couple of unbelievable and bizarre news stories, we put them against each other, and we find out who's out here doing life weirder. We normally do that, except on this episode, it's advice time.
It's weird you keep the same intro, though, if you think about it.
Yeah, fuck it, though, right?
Yeah, what are you going to do? You gave that a lot. So James is still recovering from being ill, which is why there's been some missed episodes. You gave that a lot more sauce, I feel like, to compensate for your recovery.
No, I normally do that because... it's a total...
It doesn't sound like that in the edit.
Totally, it's a total rip-off of the Mighty Boosh's Come With Us Now on a Journey Through Time and Space.
Yeah, which is a rip-off of The Twilight Zone. I get cultural references.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's David for the...
Hi.
For the deaf, I don't know.
I think for people that didn't hear the other two I've been in, it's me. Hello.
Yes, David. Hello. Introduce yourself.
I make podcasts and I write books, and I every now and then come on the show to do, I guess you'd call them word crimes.
Yeah. Well, I'd say advice crimes.
Advice crimes. Well, I think that's a subset of word crimes.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you have like the genre of metal, and then under it you got your black metal, death metal, hair metal, like yeah.
Or like
so it all kind of stems from
the one
some kind of crime.
It's a tree. It's a family tree. It's a bit like foot enthusiasts and how foot fetishists sit under that.
Exactly, and it's kind of like how podiatrists and pediatricians also sit under the same subset.
And if you cut the bit before the intro, that's going to make no fucking sense.
Yeah.
So I've set you off for a weird edit now.
Man, because you said that we could film this, and if we did film it, then the video could have had the punk rock for foot fetishists part in it. But how is that going to cut into the audio?
I don't know that it's going to work so good.
I know, but I'll find a way.
Enjoy the edit.
I'll find a way.
Bitch.
David, let's just jump straight in. Let's help some people.
Sorry, I'm just kicking my XLR. Let me just get it. Okay.
You got it. Are we still recording? We're still
Yeah, we're good.
recording.
I've spread wide so I don't touch my mic cable.
To your dick? To you?
To my feet.
Sorry.
To my feet,
Right.
so I don't make
Yeah.
interference.
Don't want to interfere with the dick. I've got a question here. In January, my dad and I went shopping for a new car for me because my 200,000-mile Chevy Blazer was about to fall apart. Mm-hmm. He fell in love with a 2018 Jeep Renegade.
Ooh, Renegade.
He test drove it, and when we got back, I wanted to look at some used Jeeps, but he wouldn't allow it.
Oh.
So I signed the paperwork and kind of paused when we get to the monthly payments. It was going to be $490 per month. Again, I asked if we could look at cheaper ones, and he shot it down. Now, including insurance, I'm paying $740 a month for this car. His name is on it, so I could stay on the insurance, but he doesn't pay anything for it. Here's the kicker. My dad now takes the car when he wants it.
No! James!
Without asking, despite having 2 trucks and my mum's car,
James.
David has found himself on the floor. This question has literally floored him. Yesterday, shit hit the fan when I was informed via text that I was going to have to take my grandmother's old car to work on Friday Turns out they'd planned a family trip to an amusement park several states away without me and are taking my car.
I'm going to answer this question from down here because I feel like that's where I'm at.
That's your safe space. I'm just so sick of having to share the car I pay more than a paycheck for every month. How do I get my dad to stop taking my car?
Not sure you're sharing it. I think you bought your dad a car. Like,
let's face it.
You bought your dad a car.
You bought your dad a car.
Okay, so in this scenario, and this is hard to do lying down because the blood's rushed to my head.
Okay.
I'm imagining a scenario where Papa can't, because that conversation in the living room's got to be the weirdest convo of your life, where you've got the laptop open and you get to the monthly payments, right?
Yep.
And he goes, yeah, look, it's going to be more money than you earn in a month to lease this vehicle that I will then drive
for you.
Sorry, it's your car.
For you,
but I'm going to take it whenever I want.
Yeah.
With very little warning.
Well, I'm sure he didn't. You don't upfront that info. You know what I mean? He's like, no. Maybe he swung it as like a safety thing. Like, look, no daughter of mine is going to be driving around in some fucking non-renegade piece of shit.
Yeah, that's just unsafe. Well, okay, question then. So I, for a long time, drove what could conceivably be called a shitbox.
Okay.
It was a 1997 Volkswagen Golf.
Okay.
Which
I thought you were going to say someone else's car.
I drove my neighbor's car and he didn't even know.
Right.
And when I found myself in a position now where the car that I own currently, my current vehicle, has a tow bar, and I'm the only person in my family who has a tow bar on their vehicle. So this exact scenario happens to me on a regular basis where someone in my family was like, yeah, just get the one with the tow bar.
Right.
And now every time they need the tow bar, it's hey, can you drive your old shitty car for the weekend?
Towing. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, cool. So really, I bought this for you.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, it's not quite the same thing, but I feel like I've been harder done by than that person.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So not to make this question all about me, but help James.
Yeah. See, this is the exact reason why I would never buy a ute.
Right. Because then you're helping everyone move every time.
Every weekend.
Actually, I could imagine you buying a ute and then someone would be like, hey, bro, can I use a ute to help me move? And you just go, nah.
Yeah.
No, that's where I can't. Sorry.
See, my car that I currently have is 2 doors, and I convinced the majority of my friends for the longest period of time that it was only a 2-seater. So that way I could avoid sort of driving literally everyone around and having to pick everyone up.
It looks small enough that I could buy that.
Yeah.
That is a good point because I do drive and pick up fucking everyone I know because they're all artists and they don't own vehicles.
Yeah.
What I would say...
This question about this person really just revealed a lot of car troubles that we're having in our lives.
James and I aren't really here for this person.
Yeah.
What was the name at the top? Did we get one?
Their name is... There's no name.
There's no name. Anonymous. We'll call them Sarah. Listen, Sarah.
Sarah, you bought your dad a fucking car.
Dude, you gotta own that shit.
I don't know how well...
You need to have a convo with... You need to sit your papa down.
Yep.
Right, and maybe don't... I've said papa, but like sit your father down.
Yep.
Papa, Frank, whatever you call him.
Sure.
And so sit him down and just say, listen, now that I bought you a car, do you want to consider chipping in? Maybe don't be that aggressive, but like I think you have to just... This is one of those times, James, where you got to confront the problem head on. And you know I hate confrontation.
Oh,
I avoid it at all costs. Every now and then I will, even if I have a full trolley, I will go to the self-checkout just to avoid a potential issue with the cashier. But I think this is one of the situations where you got to sit him down and you got to say, listen, either you've got to start chipping in or I've got to start selling drugs to afford this.
Right.
And I think that might shake him out of it.
Right.
That or stripping. I don't know. It depends what...
Yeah, you're trying to pitch your dad an even worse scenario for his daughter.
Yeah.
And potentially scare him into being like, okay, maybe I should start chipping in for this car.
One of the things I learned from Alcoholics Anonymous is that like it's the pain of... When the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of change, that's when you change.
Right.
So that's what I'm thinking. You pitch him. You'd be like, if
pitch
you don't...
dad pain. You want to hurt dad.
And because he cares about you, if you're like, I've got to start selling heroin, he's pretty quickly going to be like, fine, here's a few $100 a month.
That works too. I was going to say hurt dad, but that's good.
Or get a fucking crowbar and beat your dad up until he pays you.
Or like...
Sorry, what did you mean?
I mean, just give a quick Google. How much is a standover man these days?
You keep doing. I'm going to find
Air
out.
task it.
Standover man.
Well, I'm going to give you... This is... I sort of wanted to give you the vibe of the people, sort of the people's response to this situation. One person said...
Wait, do we know what platform we're cooking with?
This particular one is a Reddit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because
So
that just changes tonally how you should read it. Imagine this one with a fedora on.
this first one here is your car, you're paying for it. I would hope he's at least putting fuel in it for you when he's used it. That's fair.
Temperate response.
Yeah.
Not sure I agree with it, but very reasonable.
But not bad. That's, he should at least be chipping
Is
in
he putting
on
gas?
the
Gas is expensive now.
The second one here, depending on how you want to play this, I would just stop making payments on the vehicle and get your own. Your dad wanted it, let him have it.
Wait. Wait.
You're not obligated to pay for the vehicle, and if you,
I think you are.
I think you
I think when
are.
you sign the lease, yeah.
If you don't get to use it when you want, and he's putting wear and tear on the brand new vehicle, not to mention he picked it, you shouldn't be paying for it.
I mean,
These are some pretty sort of like
that's a very,
level-headed-
very level-headed.
Yeah.
That's not how leases work.
This
but
next
sure.
one is you're a dumbass, and that was sort of it.
That was the whole.
That was the whole sort of.
I'm looking at the screen. That is just number 4. You're a dumbass. That's the whole comment.
And this final one here, it honestly sounds like your dad is trying to scam you.
Oh,
He's running. I don't know how old Sarah is here, but maybe this is the longest grift.
maybe Grift is getting grift. Scammer's getting
He's been
scammed.
sitting here thinking like, this is an 18-year grift, and I'm finally getting my comeuppance.
Is this where, like, when she finally pays off the car at age 32, Ashton Kutcher jumps out from behind the curtain, and he's there, and it's punked again?
Punked it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He clearly wanted it for himself and was just trying to saddle you with the cost. I'd call this a learning moment. Get the car in your own name ASAP and never let your dad be involved in your financial decisions again, especially not if he has a personal stake in it.
Here's the thing: you're his daughter, so he has a personal stake in it. Regardless,
And
that's
also, if I'm living at home with mum and dad, which is the sitch here,
Wait, is this the assumption? I thought that dad might have just been helping out with the
dude,
purchase.
fucking let me paint you that scenario.
'Cause-
I live elsewhere, separate from my family in my own house.
This is why I lied on the floor.
And what? I go, well, time to go to work. Go outside. Oh, where's my car gone? What's that buzz message from
Yeah.
dad? Yo, going on a mad amusement park trip. A piece.
Taking your whip. Well, that's what I was imagining. That's why I lay on the floor, because I was so stunned.
There's no way in which this is okay. But if that's the case, then like, how much do you care about your dad? Because fuck this dude.
What state do you live in? Because can you kill him?
Watch the movie Double Jeopardy. Not.
You can't get arrested for the same thing twice, so just keep
Exactly.
that in mind, whatever you're going to do.
I don't know if we really.
I think we helped ourselves on that one.
You fake a robbery.
Oh.
The car gets stolen.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in.
That's the play.
That's that's your whole plan?
I mean,
I was waiting for some great reveal of like, and then you claim the
This is-
insurance money,
this
and
is
then,
the-
and then
oh, I'm not talking about grifting the system.
What?
I'm talking about just pulling the wool over dad's eyes.
why don't you just fake your death then? Pretend you're dead. He doesn't know. Oh wait, no, he'd get your car if you died. Would he get your car if you died? What depends what your will says. Change your will.
Okay.
Fake your death.
Because then you might even be able to swindle maybe a sympathy car out of dad or some kind
Sorry.
of loan. Okay.
I looked at James
Here's
like he
the
was
entire
insane.
grift, okay?
Yeah.
You fake getting your car stolen. Maybe you get a friend you keep it at a friend's place for a couple days, right?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
You tell your dad the car's stolen. He feels so awful about the situation. Maybe rough yourself up a bit. You tussled with the robber as they were stealing the car.
Throw yourself down some stairs.
He loans you a car to sort of get around in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
You throw that bad boy up on those like car rental, the scooters.
Oh, where
the
it's
Lime
like-
scooters
yeah,
where it's
yeah,
like, oh, here's a scooter.
and it just people can like they swipe the app and they can just jump in and use it for a time period.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And then that way it's like, got my whip, and the money that I'm making off leasing that other car out is helping me
paying for
pay
this
off
one.
this ludicrously expensive car.
My only issue with this great, so good
Flawless
plan,
plan, yep.
so good, is that if dad is conning you into renting a car for him, what makes you think he can afford to rent you a sympathy vehicle?
Well, but then he has to con someone else, and at that point, sorry, it's not my problem.
And then he cons your brother, and then your brother cons you, and the scammer gets
Oh,
scammed.
It's the circle of scams,
It's a circle
isn't
of
it?
scams. I've seen Lion King.
Yeah.
Scammers.
Well, I don't know how to help her
Pride
then.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off Scam Rock.
My advice, fake your own death. That's it. That's actually going to be my advice for all the questions.
Yeah,
all
that's
of them
good,
today.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you came back with the things that you said,
Yeah.
sort of that solves that one as well. That's kind of the
It's
sort of
my
the
solution.
be-all.
My solution in every single scenario.
That's helpful.
It's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, is this helpful?
Hey, you're fucking welcome.
I have a name with several common spellings. When emailing at work, people often use the wrong spelling, despite the fact that the correct form is right there in the address bar or in my signature.
Yep.
Typically, when this happens, I'll purposefully misspell their name in my following reply.
Ooh.
I think it's a decent way to make them take notice without making a big deal about it. My coworkers think it's an incredibly passive-aggressive move. Is it really that bad, or am I good?
Oh, you're not good though.
I think
You're not good though. Oh, that's brutal.
I think you are good though, because a little taste of your own medicine might make you remember how to spell
Michael,
with 2 C's.
I've got to be honest. This never happens to me because my name is pretty hard to
Easiest name in the
misspell.
world.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. What does happen though is in the particular place where I work, there is several Michelles. They all spell the name the same.
Okay.
But in emails, people will just read it quickly, skim it, and then type reply Michael or whatever. Or they'll just respond to the wrong Michelle.
Wrong Michelle,
all the time. So what started to happen is they've started to put like Michelle and then like the first letter of their surname or whatever.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's some weak shit. What we should be doing is everyone should sign off as Michelle. No last name. Everyone is Michelle. This is some Spartacus shit. So I think what you're doing is you're doing the weak version. I'm not saying that you should be spelling people's names right, but I'm just thinking like you got a weak ass. Maybe your name's John.
Okay.
Right? John. The typical spelling. Maybe you change it. You throw an A in there. Jan. You know. Maybe you power move it. Janny. There's one N. There's one N still. Yeah.
Changing the words and the vibe.
And then you spell everyone else's name immaculately, but maybe you're too formal. Like you really lean in. So instead of they go, dear John, and they spell it normally, and you go, dear Mr. Shapiro, and like you really go in,
right?
Fancy it up and make them feel guilty. Go even more passive aggressive.
So just to clarify, your response is sort of to rebrand yourself and then double down on that branding,
and
so people essentially can't not spell your name correctly
because you're so fancy and proper and unapproachable. So you'll never get a promotion. They're going to stop inviting you to all the work parties, and you can just kind of live your own life. As Sir John Smith, you're a sir now, but you're gonna get knighted. It's part of that too.
Personally, I think you're good. I've said it once before. I'll say it again. I think that, in fact, there was a point where I did say that maybe I should stop giving this piece of advice, but
okay.
I can't remember what context. I can't remember what situation there was where I sort of decided to no longer give this piece of advice. And because I've forgotten it, I'm just going to go back to giving the advice again.
What was the advice?
The advice was my sort of personal method is whenever anyone does something to you, you do it back tenfold so that they don't fuck it up again or they don't mess with you again, right?
In what context are we applying that?
Someone
okay. For instance, they email you and they spell your name wrong.
Well, I was going to go even more trivial than that, like a high school situation.
Oh yeah,
where,
that's what I'm looking
for.
We're
sitting around eating lunch at lunchtime.
Yep.
Someone throws an orange near me, right? Doesn't hit me. They throw it near me. I ruin their entire uniform.
Okay. I thought you were going to be like,
a raspberry.
I thought you were going to be like, I throw a rock at their head.
And it was a white.
That's not 10. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I fucked their whole shit up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
Okay, here's one. Someone flicked an ice cup at me.
Yep.
I broke his bike.
Yeah, but you were kind of
You were kind of a hard
ass in high school. What in this scenario, in this work setting, what's the tenfold equivalent?
See, that's what I'm trying to.
Are we shitting on their desk? Are we doing some and shit? What are we doing?
I mean, the tenfold equivalent is probably maybe anonymously, like, I don't know, get some dirt on them online and like print it out.
Oh my god!
I mean, well,
you're going to blackmail. You're going to blackmail them.
Well, yeah,
James guns to blackmail.
Yeah.
Fucking spell my name wrong. Time to find out that she has 3 kids in Iowa and email the whole office about it and post it on the work fridge. He guns to blackmail, yo. That's something we've just learned. I'm not sure if you should have a podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point.
This is revealing a lot about you.
This is a good thing about just having just an internet connection. You can do pretty much whatever you want.
Get away
now.
with it, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's ethical?
Oh, no. Oh,
yeah,
no.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you should do it anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying do that. I think personally,
yeah,
I think The blackmail that you suggested, by the way, I think that's a little too far.
Wasn't my idea.
And I think that, first of all, it's kind of sick that you suggested that.
Didn't.
And so I'd like to distance myself
I
from
really
the things that
didn't
David has just
say-
said.
That wasn't.
And I would go with, like, you know, what if you get them a farewell cake
Yep.
and you
Wait.
spell the name on the farewell cake incorrectly
Mm-hmm.
and you give it to them and then they go, oh, I'm not leaving. And they go, oh, but blah, blah, blah. The boss said that you were, I'm sorry. I
Ooh.
thought you
I actually really
knew
like that.
And then maybe that's a double-edged sword with
Actually-
with the incorrect spelling of their name.
Oh, that's really brutal too, because you can imagine it's like 8:30 on a Friday, and you rock up and you've got John spelled with an A and no
Right.
H or whatever, and you put it on his desk.
But just to personally, I dropped this at like 4:50 on a Friday,
Oh no, I want them
so
to.
that they go into the weekend being like, I'm fired.
No, I want to. I want them to marinate in it for like an hour and a half and then leave in a rage. Like I want to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm talking.
Wow.
I'm talking
And
like.
you had an issue with this shit. I would suggest, first of all, I
Yo,
wouldn't
if-
let
if
it
we're
go
gonna-
that far.
Yo, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it properly. I'm not fucking around with no 4:30 p.m.
Dude.
30 minutes. They could just leave whenever they want at that point. I'm talking right up until an hour before lunch. They're trying to hang out. I'll go home at lunchtime, but they can't take it because they're wondering, are they fired? They leave before
Right.
lunch. They don't book no leave, right? They just fuck off.
This
And everyone's like, is she okay?
This is my biggest
The answer
fear.
is no.
This is my big, honestly, like when I was younger, because you know me, I'm a huge horror movie fan, right?
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
I would always like, you know, when people in movies they do the like serial killer prank on their friend or whatever, but like what happens when their friend like actually for real thinks it's real, turns around, self-defense, full blown, just like murders
That's how.
a
Yeah.
rego person.
That's how James is going out.
That's
yeah.
that like I'm afraid of that happening.
Wait,
right?
in what?
And that's in
what-
your context.
No, wait. But are you the person getting killed or the person killing?
Oh, I'm just in on the goof. I'm just one
Oh.
of the pranksters.
He's got the mask.
I'm a jovial prankster. Okay,
Yeah,
in
but-
this setting.
oh,
Yeah.
because your podcast isn't very
Right, jovial or
factual, is what I was going
Right,
to say.
okay.
It's very funny.
So, in your context,
Yeah.
you want to like plant this little like it's a little bit of like a goof. Hey, don't fucking forget my name thing. But then when they go off the handle, you're gonna sit back and let them do it so that they actually get fired. In their mind, they think I'm fired. And so they're acting as if, well, I'm already out of here, and they're not, and now they are actually fired because you're sick, mate.
I was going to go one step further, and I
Oh,
was
you were gonna go, further than that.
I was going to then like antagonize their supervisor.
Right.
I'd be like, she's acting really weird. Maybe we should talk to her about it. Like I'm
Oh
talking.
my god!
I want her.
So you,
Yeah.
dude, you sick fuck! You're not even gonna leave it to chance. You're not even gonna leave it to chance. You're gonna sit there and go like, no, I'm gonna make sure something happens.
Yo, if you want shit to get done, you got to do it yourself. I ain't here for no blackmail. I'm here for fucking results. Okay? And if you can't handle that, that's on you.
And you know what? That's some fucking great advice.
So do that. Let me know how it goes. Also,
All of that, yeah. Take your pick, really.
make sure the cake is a mud cake because you know how we do.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with no vanilla sponge. That's all I'm
okay.
saying.
I was gonna say maybe like a jam and cream cake.
Ooh,
That's fine.
That sounds
you
nice. Is a tiramisu a cake?
know. I don't know what that is.
A tiramisu? Okay.
Yeah.
It's a coffee dessert from Italy.
Oh, yeah. I always confuse that with trifle.
They couldn't be more different.
I know,
One of them's a
dude.
custard-based English dessert. Dude. Yikes.
I know, man. Fucking, it's
Yikes.
just like Scottish people, my
Yikes.
family, and English people and stuff. People's response
We
on
have
this one.
the same people.
We got the people's response on this
Oh,
one.
shit. Yeah, okay.
Uh,
I've forgotten the question. This was about the email, right?
this is about the
Sorry.
misspelling of the name.
I got
Yeah.
too deep in it. Yeah, go ahead.
So the people's response, this first person says, "This is such a minor thing that I don't see how anyone could possibly get upset about this."
But you're seeing it now.
Yeah. Yeah, name's a pretty insignificant thing, isn't it? Markle. Oh, it's Michael, is it? Oh, sorry, Markle. Research only shows that seeing and hearing your own name causes your brain to react as if you're engaging in behaviors and thought patterns that serve as some of your core identity and personality makers. But who gives a fuck, right, Markle?
I feel. Should I go? Like, are you good?
This fucking piece of shit. This piece of shit.
The idea too that you're like, it's not a name, it's not that important.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just your entire fucking identity.
Just your whole fucking identity, dipshit.
Why do you think I changed my name to Raven in grade 11? I was trying to change my shit. Like, that's why kids do that
And why
shit.
do you think I changed it back to David in grade 12?
I wanted to have sex.
Shit didn't go down.
Yeah, I was trying to get laid. It wasn't working with Raven.
Oh, turns out, and this is another piece of advice for everyone listening, no one wants to fuck Raven.
True. It turns out no one wants to fuck David. That's a whole nother problem.
Oh, that's so David.
Yeah.
Um,
Fuck you. That's too funny for this goddamn show. You animal. That is the best joke of 2004.
yeah. And the other people's response: two wrongs don't make a right. If it bothers you so much that people misspell your name, talk to them about it. But don't do the same thing to them that irks you. That just makes no sense. I don't. What?
Wait,
what a
so hang on.
snooze fest response.
So this loser is saying an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. It's like, yeah, it might be true, but also I got to get mine back. So
Thank you.
So
Thank you, sir. Some common sense.
So you know.
Thank you very much.
Also, if I'm blind, fuck that guy.
Exactly.
I'm gonna stab his eyes out with
and
my
fucking
email.
double jeopardy and shit.
Can't get arrested for. Can't get. Oh, dude, you can't go to prison for the same crime twice. Stab both eyes out. You only get arrested for one.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
No.
That is such a good piece of advice.
Right?
Oh,
We should be lawyers.
probably don't do like there should be something in here that sort of just reiterates
is
like
not
don't
legal-
do any of
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't legal advice.
not
Don't do any of it.
yeah, not we're not responsible.
I think the fact
kind of
that
stuff.
the bit that you're going to cut at the start, which I'm now making uncuttable with the pediatrician and the podiatry,
Yes.
if that does stay in, which it
That's
has to
right.
now,
Yeah.
I think that's demonstrative of the fact that we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I confused foot doctors with baby doctors.
And also like you want to start a punk rock band for foot fetishists.
I
which
really
is sort of
doubled
weird.
down on that bit.
Yeah.
That isn't good.
I like that each time you come on here you sort of introduce a new made up
I never let
fetish
go of it.
yours.
Well,
Because the last time it was the puppy play.
yeah,
where
they're
you
all-
dress up as the
yeah,
German
they're all
dog.
made up. They're all
Yeah.
fictional.
Oh yeah, they're all fictional.
Yeah.
Totally not real.
Yeah, they're fictional.
Yes.
You came to my place the other night to pick up a camera, and there was a girl there.
Yeah.
There was no dog costume at all in
Right.
sight.
In sight though.
Sorry?
Yeah.
No, in the house. I don't
Oh,
own one.
yeah.
I don't own one.
It's so weird because I thought I saw like a dog water bowl,
Nah.
and you super don't own a dog, so I don't know. And there was like a bag of like doggy treats. I thought you owned a cat.
James, what's the next
so
question?
weird anyway.
What's the next question?
Um,
My cat died. I don't have a dog. What's up?
I want to. I want to start off by saying I love my girlfriend.
What? Fuck. Okay. Wow. This isn't gonna go well.
And I'm scared that if I give her this rule or expectation, it will make her feel unwelcome at my home. We've been dating for a while now, and she's been courteous in asking to eat and use my stuff. She doesn't eat so much, so I always give her the okay. After she spent a week at my place, I told her she doesn't have to ask me to eat my food on day 3 since she would always ask before she ate. She doesn't eat much anyway since she's smaller, but I didn't take into account that a handful of granola and a bowl of yogurt and a banana every day would stack up after a while. She left my place after the stay, and now every time she comes and stays for a period of time, she eats my food. I feel bad for wanting her to start buying her own groceries to keep at my place since she consistently takes me out for food, buys me clothes, contributes to groceries when we cook, and keeps my weed supply full. This sounds like a
Hang on.
fucking
That was a lot. Can you cliff notes that? So, sorry. So he's
So-
upset.
bullet points.
Yep. There was a
So
lot of detail in that last paragraph.
He's upset because she's eating like granola and shit.
Sure.
Cut to what she's doing.
She's taking him out for dinner.
Bullet,
and
buying
also-
her clothes, stacking up the weed, fucking contributing to groceries when they cook together.
I mean, the rest of it's irrelevant because she's got that green.
This
You know,
is
we
like-
need that ganj.
Smoking like a true smoker of the J's. I can't comfortably afford to be feeding 1.5 me's
Okay.
since she's here a minimum 2 days a week.
Okay.
She's brought it up in the past, the fact that she feels I don't take her out enough,
Ooh.
but we have a quiet understanding that she makes more than me since she works 5 to 6 days a week and I work 3, parentheses, not by choice. I don't know what that means.
That's
but-
a weird parenthesis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, okay.
I feel like she contributes a lot monetarily to the relationship, and in terms makes her feel like she contributes more emotionally in the relationship because she's always making sure I'm taken care of and comfortable.
Yeah, she is, but go ahead.
I don't know if I should just suck it up because she's not taking much from me, and if I'd be wrong or an asshole to expect someone who gives so much to give more. I'd say pretty clear, yeah, you would be a bit of a dick to expect someone to do even more for you when they're doing this much, but we'll continue. Would I be an asshole, and how would I bring it up?
Can I be honest with you, James?
Fill me in.
This is a nonsense question, isn't it? Because when you sometimes you're like, oh, I see the situation you're in, and I get why you think it's not going super great.
Right.
But you've literally been like, yeah, she brings me the drugs that I need to relax. She takes me out very often. She buys me clothes to make sure that I dress well because I can't dress myself because I'm a dumb straight dude. She contributes a lot to the relationship by keeping me maintained hygienically, both mentally and, physically with the food and the clothing and all that sort of thing.
Yep.
Literally putting clothes on my back. Helps me feel more stable. But
Putting clothes on the back, putting green in the system.
2 days a fucking week, she eats my goddamn cereal.
Exactly.
This relationship's fucked. Like, are you good, dog? Like, are you good? Like, I don't want to be that guy, but are you fucking good, dog? Like, what's up? You know what I mean? What's up?
Dude, I'm 100% with you on this one. Like, I don't know how you could. This could be the sitch that you're in, right? Like, how much of a, and again, like, I don't want to like be shitting on some dude, but fuck this dude. Like,
Yo,
how
what the fuck?
How is it that someone's like, hey, let me lay this out for you. This person's basically doing everything for me, and they're fucking rad. Just to reiterate, doing everything and rad. By the way, eats my bananas 2 days a week. How do I tell this bitch to step off?
Wait, also, this bitch who's paying for a lot of shit that I need and enjoy.
Yeah.
And on top of that is staying at my bum-ass apartment 2 days a week just to spend time with me. And bitch, don't pay for that banana that she be eating.
Exactly.
Are you good, dude?
I know,
Are you
dog.
good? Hey,
Like-
Hey, if the girl's listening to this, fuck this guy. You are too good for this clown. Get the fuck out of here. You don't need that shit. You gotta get, man, girl, you gotta get yourself a life, man. This guy sounds like a crumb bum. I know it's strong language on this podcast, but he's a crumb bum. I was just saying. I'm just going to say he's a crumb bum. Fuck you and come at me. Don't at me.
The people's response.
Oh, yes.
Who is this amazing girl buying this baby weed?
Mm-hmm. Baby.
Yeah.
The comma's in the wrong place, so it sounded
yeah.
like the weed was small.
Oh, it's Reddit. There were no commas.
It's Reddit. There's no commas, baby. They don't know how to.
Another person said, it sounds like she's giving far more than she's taking. If you want her to buy her own food to keep at your house, then you should pay 50% of the time when you guys go out, buy all your own clothes, and maybe pay for your own fucking weed.
So,
all very good points.
Pretty much what we said, yeah.
Be a functioning fucking human in
grown
this
up.
relationship.
It's fine.
And someone else said, she takes you out to eat, buys you clothes, groceries, and weed, but now you want more? Are you confusing her with your mummy?
Oh, sick burn.
And all she eats is granola, yogurt, and bananas? What the fuck, dude? Keep your cheap-ass mouth shut and be grateful.
Oh, dang. So we're all on the same page then.
We're all on the same page.
So this guy's the worst.
I like the sort of community of people.
For once,
can
the
come
internet's
together.
like, dude, you suck.
Yeah, and we can all, like, universally, we can be like, you know what? Fuck this guy.
I was actually thinking about this week, right? Because I was like explaining to someone, I was like, because I'm in a relatively new relationship at the moment, and I was like, yeah, it's really cool. Like,
how much of your granola is she eating?
well, none,
Ugh.
because she doesn't eat much, right? And so I was talking about, and I was like, she doesn't really drink that much of my beer or my liquor. She has her own life, and she gives me space to do the recording of the podcast and stuff. And
Yep.
she's really actually like respectful and understanding of my friends, and like.
Sounds awful.
And like we'll just come over and hang out sometimes just to do nothing and chill, and
Yep.
like is and is interested in things because I am. And I was like, yeah, but she doesn't fucking put gas in my vehicle when I drop her off. Like who's
Exactly.
that guy?
I know.
That'd be like if I turned around, I was like, yeah, but when we go out for dinner, right? And she buys me food, she doesn't also buy the drinks. It's like, dude, what?
Yeah.
But you guys would be like, you'd be like, no, that's it. We can't podcast together because you suck.
So we went out for like burgers and fries the other night. Bitch didn't buy me sauce. So basically thinking about breaking it off immediately.
She didn't pay for my special sauce, but I had to drop 50 cents on that shit.
This dude is
That's
fucked.
crazy to me.
Imagine living this life
That's
and you're like,
crazy to
you know
me.
what? I've got to take this to the internet and get some fucking advice on how I can deal with this situation right now because this bitch is still eating my granola.
You mean
I
the
bet she was
perfect
there.
relationship?
Yeah. I bet she was there. He saw her walk past with a banana and he's like, that's it. He jumps on Reddit.
Also, yo, is granola that expensive? I've never bought it.
Got an update for you.
Wait, from him?
From him.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, let me strap in.
I think making this post was one of the single most worst decisions of my life.
You think? I'm not sure that is.
No, I concur on that one.
I've got a few.
Solid. That's a fat yes.
Also, definitely not the worst decision of her life.
My girlfriend, by sheer coincidence, found this post.
Oh, no! Jay?
Thought,
Jay?
and I quote, haha, this reminds me of me and Joyce Manor. Saw my username, made the connection, and broke up with me.
Oh, James.
All within 20 minutes of making this post.
Oh.
She thought there was underlying issues in our relationship anyway, and me being a cheap asshole was the last straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep.
To TLDR, turns out I am an asshole.
I'm going to stay here. I hate this.
David has found himself in what I can only describe as, I'd say, half a fetal position.
If I go any closer, then I'll have to. If I get any more fetal, I'll have to pee.
Oh, man.
I can't explain to you how much I hate this.
I need you listening right now to go to Slotfest Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't care where, or even
please tell
the
us
email slotfestpodcast@gmail.com. I need your point of view on these questions, but this one in particular. I need your own advice. I need how you would deal with this sitch, because this is
from which point of view? Are we the girl or the guy here? Because the girl's choice is obvious. You got to break up with him.
Oh,
anyway,
no, the girl
she's completely 100%.
is a functioning human being with a fucking brain
who deserves more than
this
guy.
Who didn't need the advice because she went, oh yeah, this guy's fucking trash. Bye.
I mean, to be fair, no one actually needs our advice, and they shouldn't take it.
Right.
This is all goofs.
Well,
the thing.
Some people
fake your
need
death. Fake your death. But
I mean, that's solid.
That would solve this too.
Let's not discredit how good that is.
That would solve this too, by the way. It solves almost every situation.
I can't.
Name one situation where it wouldn't solve it. You can't.
At Slotfest Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I fucking challenge you to find a situation where faking
genuinely
wouldn't solve the problem.
Tweet us. I need to know.
I would also love to eventually at some point do a Slotfest community recap on what people's advice is or their thoughts.
We should do a comments type show where you'll all write in what you think about the advice we've given, and then we respond to your criticism of our advice.
Oh, I love that.
Positive praise. I'm doubting that's going to happen very often,
because
but it could.
Look, this is we know, while this advice is impeccable,
we're not perfect.
It can be better. So,
maybe you just have a different opinion of how good it is.
Exactly.
Because we know it's perfect.
Exactly.
Right.
So
and we're very
people writing in, and then that way we can grow, or sort of even just sort of plateau, because what do you do when you hit the ceiling?
Plateau, yeah. We've kind of peaked advice-wise.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't use the word peaked, because I feel like that's negative connotations.
Also, microphone connotations. I don't want to freak you guys out, but the audio's pretty good on this.
And you know why?
Yeah.
Because when you want advice this good, it's got to be coming in hot.
So I'm thinking what this guy should do is just be celibate forever or grow up. You got two options.
Or learn from recent mistakes, and maybe a handful of granola and a fucking banana.
What's the fucking coincidence? I mean,
write a motherfucking pros and cons list, dog. You know what I mean?
Think about it.
For half a second. Did you even think for a second
about it? Yeah.
Or compare the benefits to losses?
Because the benefits are myriad.
Yeah.
There's so many. And and the losses are about, I guess, 10 quid a week.
It's so weird that when I draw a line down this piece of paper, I ran out of paper in the benefits column, and there's still fucking shitloads of white over here on my losses statement.
It's like I honestly, I cannot fathom. I mean, I guess it's just dudes, but I cannot fathom the maths that went into that.
I'll tell you the maths that went into it.
Zero.
Not a single fucking thought.
Because that's fucking crazy to me. I mean, good on her. You know what I mean?
Oh, she's on to bigger and better
plus now
things.
she's got heaps of weed.
Exactly.
And that's where we all want to be.
And now her money's going to her own clothes. She's styling. She's high.
Get that sticky icky.
Oh.
Get that green. Get that cannabi. Is it cannabi or cannabises?
David, I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Damn. I feel vindicated.
Yeah.
By the internet's opinion of that guy.
I feel like I've been cleansed, but by fire.
This is one of the situations where someone's evil deeds don't undo our own, but I think sometimes with the internet, when you have an experience on it, it can make you either feel like the world is this empty, shallow husk with nothing in it, or it can make you feel like everything is this interconnected web of energy that draws us all together. I feel like this might have been the latter with that last question, where we all universally came together and we went, that guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, we all sort of we laid down our pitchforks and our torches, and we all sort of got together around the hearth, and we went,
and we
you know
pissed
what?
on that guy.
We all took a piss on him.
We whipped it out and we pissed on it.
And you know what? That's what it's about here at Slopfest, like communal pissing.
Hate that.
If you
hate that so much.
head over to slopfestpod.com to get more in-depth show notes, images, and artwork, and
Custom artwork.
for this and previous episodes, that artisanal,
Mwah.
handcrafted, bespoke artwork.
James, it's so nice.
Slop a follow on the socials to be notified when new episodes go live. And while you're there, shoot me a bloody message.
Let us know what you think of our Mr. Dirtbag.
Yep.
And if there's any if there's any situation that wouldn't be solved by pretending to die.
And really sort of just like any I guess advice for the advice givers.
Or any advice, maybe you need advice.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe
as
you
well.
need some advice.
Yes. At Slopfest Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We can't help it. We'll do some funnies.
And also slopfestpodcast@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, shoot us an email if you need some advice. Best way to do it. Give us a lengthy graph. It's a paragraph.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Did you come up with that one?
The graph, shortening the paragraph? Yes.
A lengthy graph. Oh,
A lengthy graph.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. That's a good
Just
one.
a really big, wide graph.
David, where can people find you if they want to?
Well, I've gone off the grid since I faked my own death, but on the socials and that sort of thing, sort of for the content that I make.
Right.
At DCM_works or DCM.works is the best place to find me.
Yep.
I make a weekly podcast and a bunch of other dumb stuff where we kind of analyze media and we do some goofs sometimes.
Yeah. Or does he make a podcast? Because again, you're the grid and stuff.
But you don't know. You don't know.
I don't know.
I say off the grid, but James knows where I live, or does he?
And maybe these episodes are banked up. They're actually not, because I did time stamp it.
You could have recorded that in at the start. That's
a
the
good
one
point.
bit that you can always change.
It's like, it's not an audio newspaper where I'm holding up like today's fresh hot
What
print.
does that mean? An audio
You know when it's like fucking
Jesus Christ.
When,
Are you
when
good?
Yes, but like when someone gets kidnapped and they're like, "Oh, prove that you've got him," but get a picture of him and
and
hold
the
up today's newspaper.
It's not like that.
Yeah.
I also just wanted to briefly plug my book. If I have a novel,
Fucking do it.
maynardtrig.com, Trig with 2 G's. It's a low fantasy coming of age story. It's one of the best things I've ever done.
maynardtrig.com.
Nice.
Nice.
No rehearsal. Nailed that first time.
Loved it.
Yeah, get on that. It's a good one.
Give it a peep. Give it a read.
Thanks. Also at DCM I Hate Pie. If you want to follow me on Twitter, don't do that. I don't tweet.
There's
But
no
you
point.
can.
There's no point. He's off the grid, so don't follow that one. Just the other ones that he mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's gonna do it.
Thank you for having me. Sorry for spending so much time on
And
the
David,
floor. It was very
thank you
distressing.
for having me.
You're not welcome.
Oh, good. See you next week.
Bye.